One of the things that I like about working with entrepreneurs is discovering whether they are a visionary entrepreneur or whether they lean more towards an executive entrepreneur. A visionary is a person who has lots of big ideas. A visionary is a person who is always moving on to the next thing. They're creative and they're spontaneous, and oftentimes they bring a lot of chaos to the room. An executive is much more focused on bringing systems and structure and order to the organization. These are completely different skill sets. Rarely do you see a visionary and an executive skill set in one single person. So one of the things that I think is really important about helping people understand what are their giftings and what are their shortcomings is around this idea of visionary and executive. And so let me give you an example. A lot of times an entrepreneur will start a business, and so imagine that we had this space shuttle, the old space shuttle program, and you've got your fuel tank and you've got your booster engines and you've got the shuttle, and the entrepreneur generally envisions themselves sitting in the cockpit of this space shuttle and that they are going to launch this business into orbit. And they think that they're in the pilot's seat. When the reality is that if they are a visionary entrepreneur, who they actually are is the rocket boosters. As a visionary, one of your gifts is the ability to provide the massive force needed to get something from the ground into orbit. And it's an amazing gift. Very, very few people have the tenacity, the persistence, the drive to be able to build something from nothing and make it profitable, put it into orbit. The problem comes when the business actually gets into orbit and becomes profitable. You need a different steering or thrusting mechanism. No longer is it appropriate for just the massive firing of the rocket boosters. Once you get into orbit, that kind of energy will actually shake the whole ship apart. So if you're a visionary, what you need to do is you just need to be mindful, hey, my gift is in the launch, and that what I need to do is I now need to descend back to Earth, find another rocket ship, and launch it. And the gift of the executive is to sit in the pilot's seat once the shuttle is in orbit and provide those soft, steady, refining directional changes that create systems and structure and order within the business. Every great organization has had a partnership between a visionary and an executive. The combination of a visionary and executive is almost a prerequisite to long-term organizational success. So, being mindful of, are you a visionary or are you an executive? If you're a visionary, you launch. If you're an executive, you direct and shift and change. That partnership is really important.